about this world system. Don't believe the hype. Really. Don't do it. It's, it's not worth it. Don't believe the hype. Leave that alone. All right. Topic of the message. Oh man, God was giving me a lot of awesome messages when I was walking from Starbucks yesterday. Topic of this message is talking about the reality of. I was talking to my friend Christy at Starbucks, and gave her. I think I said life is about something, and then she told me life is about we're actors in a play, more likely. And I was like, I meditated on that, and I was like, oh, let me go this direction. Let me check. Let me look at how I can perceive this. And then I thought about this, I meditated. I was like, oh, that's what I need to preach. That, the topic of this message is life is like a, let me see, it's like a play. Let me see, no, I don't like that. Life is all about, okay. The reality of performing, the reality of performing for the lower audience or the high audience. Which reason are you performing? Yeah, sorry guys. Which reason, who are you performing for? For the lower audience or the higher audience? The thing is, that's what I told her, the thing is, about, I'm finna use the idea of it, I'm finna use a play. You're going to go see a professional play, at, I guess, a Broadway play, and you finna, you're going to do your acting out a play, I don't know, Romeo or Juliet. You're going to, in your acting, your performance is going to be seen by, there's of course when you see theater play, that's what I was trying to look for, theater play. Your performance are going to be seen by a lower audience, and there's a high audience, upper deck audience. And of course I asked her, who is the high audience, and she, Christy said God, and I said, and his son Jesus sitting at the right hand of the Father, that are the higher audience. The low audience, of course, is people. Now the thing is, people, of course, let's say that, I'm going to have to change, Romeo and Juliet. Let's say that, we are acting, we're in this play. You know what I'm saying? Life is, and we have to play this role in life, And here's the thing about life, life, we can play, let's say, the world system concerning becoming something in life is these roles. Like, for instance, if I was a teacher, or if I was a race car driver, if I was a anything in life, a construction worker, any job, a corporate world, whatever job I'm doing, or if I'm going to school, or if I'm going here, you know what I'm saying? What if these ideal, things are roles, are roles of acting, out concerning acting roles. What if I perceive these as acting roles? You know what I'm saying? And I look at my life as whatever I am as an acting role. And of course, the two people watching is God, the higher audience, and people, the lower audience. Well, the thing is, who is my performance is for? You know what I'm saying? If I'm, doing in this job or at school or at whatever thing I'm in, who am I performing for? Is the question. Now, God showed me this, remind me of this idea that He, talked to me about the ideal of acting in actions. Now, the problem of, that we can either do acting or actions that we don't realize in our everyday life. The thing is, God gave me the idea of, really the idea of who we are as, of course, human beings that God created us is Genesis 1:26. It's to be made in the image and the likeness of God. And the thing is, if that's who we are, the thing is, if we're put in a role of doing this kind of job or going to school or volunteering to do this or whatever, if we're made in the image and the likeness of God, that's who we are. As in, for instance, Denzel Washington is an actor, and he acts on this role in this film. He played Malcolm X. The thing is, but he's acting the role of Malcolm X, but he's Denzel Washington. The thing is, the ideal of Denzel Washington is the made in the image and likeness of God, but Malcolm X is the role that Denzel's playing. That is that Malcolm X represents the job and whatever we're doing, student or whatever we're doing. That what it represents in this idea. Now, if I'm performing concerning what I'm doing, am I trying to after Denzel Washington is done with this movie, Malcolm X, he goes back to Denzel Washington. He goes back being Denzel Washington. He doesn't remain Malcolm X, but he go back to Denzel Washington. And the thing is, what people don't understand when it comes to the things of us being whatever we are in this world, we think what we do is who we are. Like if I was working at Starbucks, if I'm working at Starbucks and I'm working at Starbucks all the time, I'll maybe start, if I work so much, I will start believing that I'm just a Starbucks worker. But really, I'm not just a Starbucks worker. I'm Mac Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I'm Mac Johnson. I'm an individual made in the image and the likeness of God. But here's the problem, and now with that idea understanding, when I'm performing in what I'm doing, I'm not doing it so much for, the other concerning which audience I'm performing for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it really for Starbucks. I'm doing it for who I am. For instance, if I'm going to be a great worker, I'm going to be a great worker because that is the reflection of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Of who Mac Johnson is. If I, I'm using Starbucks as a, example. If I am working there. If I'm going to be a great worker at what I'm doing or performing of what I'm doing, I'm going to not be doing it for people, the lower, audience, I'm going to be performing for who I am, Mac Johnson, as in who I am, made in the image and the likeness of God, and I'm going to be performing for God. So whatever I'm going to be performing for God is going to reflect what I do. And how it reflects what I do is how my performance is going to be go by. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be a nice person. I'm going to work whatever job I need to do, make this drink or sweep the floor or take out trash or whatever. My performance is going to be based upon my reflection of who I am. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, the problem of people these days, they try to make their performance based upon the lower audience, people. And they try to make it based upon people, and they're doing good for the sake of pleasing people. And when you do that, what happens is you're trying to please people that are not really fulfilling you. You know what I'm saying? Only God is fulfilling me. You know what I'm saying? God fulfilling me. People cannot fulfill me. You know what I'm saying? People can say I'm good at this or good at that. You know what I'm saying? Or they can say I'm bad at this or I'm bad at that. But if somebody say I'm bad, like a bad actor, you know what I'm saying, in this theater, you know what I'm saying, I will start feeling bad because I base my performance based upon people that that don't really know who I am. But only my Creator knows who I am. So therefore, I'm supposed to be basing my performance on Him and not them. You know what I'm saying? But I see people these days, they base their performance in everything they do, in the church, unfortunately, and everywhere, they're based upon people, their performance upon people, and they're trying to, be pleased in the performance of people. Like, of course, my always great example, Jesus Christ, his performance concerning him dying on the cross was not based upon the people. You know what I'm saying? Of course, because the people wanted him crucified. You know what I'm saying? They wanted him to die. You know what I'm saying? They chose Barabbas because of the performance of Barabbas, that he was about, trying to liberate Israel from Rome and try to destroy Rome and get rid of Rome out of, Israel. See, because Israel was about Israel. But Israel wasn't about God. You know what I'm saying? Because Israel was supposed to be a praise to the nations. You know what I'm saying? But here's Jesus Christ coming to die on the cross for the world, consider the nations, you know what I'm saying, and to do something for the world. But Israel is supposed to do something for the world, but they busy concerned about their own country, being liberated in their own country, instead of not, be about, this person that is all for the world. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, they busy performing for what's about, they chose somebody that was about, help themselves. And the thing is, of course, selfishness will always be the number one sin that leads to other sin, that, is the problem of Christians to truly fulfilling their purpose of Genesis 1:26, made in the image and the likeness of God, that we're reflecting God, that we're supposed to be reflecting other people to truly fulfill our purpose. And the thing is, look, the thing is, God taught me, when we let God reflect us, we're about our actions. But when we start letting people reflect us, we'll be about acting. Be about not keeping it real about who we are when we're about people. But when we're about God, we're about action. We're about performing the things of God, performing the things of love, joy, peace, gentleness, long-suffering, meekness, temperance, and faith. And that's what in order for us to fulfill our purpose, that we will be who we're supposed to be and not acting to please people down, on the lower audience. All right, that's the message. I hope you understand that you start letting God be who you are and not let men make you an actor, but be about performing actions with God. All right, that's the message. To God be the glory here forever. In Jesus' name, amen.